What if the thing you've been apologizing for, your silence online, is actually a psychological strength? 28,000 people agreed privacy isn't weird. So why are you still defending it? If you've ever been asked why you don't post more on social media, this is an identity crossroads. One path says you're antisocial, the other says you may have high privacy orientation and secure self-esteem. But here's the twist. Sometimes silence is strength, and sometimes it's fear in disguise. Today, make a decision. Stop apologizing for not posting, or find out you've been hiding behind a wall. We'll look at research from a 2019 privacy study, Jennifer Campbell's Self-Concept Clarity Scale, a 2021 Journal of Communication paper, Carl Rogers' Internal Locus of Evaluation, and Festinger's Social Comparison Theory, to answer one question. Are you setting a boundary or building a wall? A student named Maya sits in a cafe. Her friends are taking selfies. Someone laughs and says, "You never post." Are you hiding something? Maya smiles. But her stomach tightens. For a moment, she wonders, am I the weird one? That's how an identity wound begins. Antisocial, secretive, outdated. Here is the real decision. Do you accept that label or examine it carefully? A comment asking why privacy is considered strange received 28,000 likes. 28,000 people agreed that silence online is not dysfunction. That number is social proof. But it's also a mirror. Not the kind that reflects likes, the kind that reflects identity. Many people assume visibility equals psychological health. Psychology doesn't define health by exposure. It defines it by integration, how well your internal self matches your external behavior. Imagine two doors, one labeled performance, bright lights, constant feedback, the other labeled privacy, daylight, selective sharing. Choosing privacy is not automatically avoidance. In a 2019 study, higher privacy preference was linked to conscientious traits, people who think long-term and don't act impulsively. Not posting can be deliberation, not dysfunction. That's the first distinction. Privacy explains behavior. Identity clarity explains motivation. In 1996, psychologist Jennifer Campbell developed the Self-Concept Clarity Scale. It measures how clearly and confidently you understand who you are. Picture two objects. If your identity depends on a mirror, you need reflection, likes, comments, reactions, to confirm existence. If your identity is a window, you look outward from a stable interior. People with high self-concept clarity show consistent beliefs across situations. They don't need constant external evaluation to stabilize identity. Social media becomes optional, not essential. Posting frequency doesn't reveal strength. Consider this. Some people post constantly and feel grounded. Others post constantly and feel lost. Some rarely post and feel secure. Others rarely post and feel invisible. The action alone tells you nothing about the motive underneath. Clarity explains stability. Self-esteem is sensitivity to feedback. A 2021 Journal of Communication study found social media use correlates with lower self-esteem, especially for people whose self-worth already depends on external validation. Correlation isn't destiny, but vulnerability matters. Platforms don't automatically damage confidence, but if your self-esteem is fragile, constant comparison and evaluation can make that fragility worse. Carl Rogers described this shift as moving from conditions of worth to an internal locus of evaluation. If approval was conditional growing up, good grades, good behavior, good performance, you may have learned that visibility equals safety. Posting becomes compliance with old rules. Be seen, be approved, be acceptable. Self-esteem answers a different question. Who grades your exam first, you or the crowd? So far, one rule matters: behavior is visible, motivation is not. Let's make this practical. Write down your last 5 reasons for not posting. Now categorize them. Value-based. I prefer depth. I protect my time. I dislike comparison. I don't want permanent digital records. Fear-based. I'll be judged. I'm not attractive enough. I'm not interesting. I might say something wrong. Don't judge the answers, just separate them. You're not diagnosing a problem. You're identifying drivers. Now add the final force: comparison. In 1954, Leon Festinger proposed social comparison theory. Humans evaluate themselves by comparing to others. Before the internet, your comparison group was small: classmates, co-workers. Now you compare your Tuesday to someone's curated highlight reel. Imagine a hamster wheel made of profile pictures, spinning endlessly. Every scroll invites evaluation. Am I attractive enough? Successful enough? Interesting enough? Comparison at scale. If you stepped off that wheel, that may be cognitive self-protection. For now, just measure your exposure to comparison. Try a 7-day comparison fast. Track your mood before and after scrolling. Count how many times you evaluate yourself against someone else. Awareness often reduces the impulse. Now the turning point. 2 people can disappear online. One becomes stronger. The other becomes smaller. The difference isn't visibility. It's fear versus values. Path or boundary. You feel calm not posting. You share selectively in private. You maintain close relationships offline. Example: Maria deleted Instagram 2 years ago. She still meets 2 friends every week for dinner. She mentors a colleague. She shares photos in a small family group chat. Her world is intentional, not empty. That is a door with a lock. It opens when she chooses. Path B. Wall. You avoid visibility because of fear. You withdraw from connection. You feel anxious about being seen. Your privacy limits growth. Example: David stopped posting after criticism. Then he declined invitations. Then he skipped networking events. When friends ask about his life, he says, "Nothing much," and changes the subject. His world shrank quietly. Externally, Maria and David look the same. Neither posts. Internally, they are moving in opposite directions. Privacy explains behavior. Clarity explains stability. Self-esteem explains sensitivity. Comparison explains pressure. Only motivation explains growth. Perform a connection audit. List 5 meaningful interactions from the past month, not likes, not comments. Real exchanges, a conversation longer than 10 minutes. A shared meal, a collaborative project. Emotional support given or received. If you can list 3 to 5 nourishing interactions, you likely operate from boundary. If you struggle to name even one, and isolation feels safer than engagement, examine fear honestly. Same behavior, different outcome because the driver changed. Now clarify the difference. Healthy privacy reduces unnecessary evaluation. It strengthens internal clarity. It builds an internal locus of evaluation. Avoidant privacy reduces opportunity. It shrinks exposure. It weakens social skills through disuse. The goal is not posting more. The goal is choosing intentionally. Growth means you can enter visibility without losing yourself. And exit without shame. You are not hiding, you are choosing. Here's the decision: are you choosing privacy, or letting fear choose it for you? Once you see the difference, you can't ignore it. Define 3 visibility rules. Example: 1. I post only when it aligns with my values. 2. I never post to repair my mood. 3. I prioritize private connection over public performance. Test these rules for 60 days. Observe: do you feel calmer, clearer, more coherent? Or smaller, more anxious, more disconnected? Adjust based on clarity, not comparison. Your identity is not measured in posts. It's measured in coherence between who you are and how you show up, not volume, not visibility. Coherence. 28,000 people validated privacy publicly. But that is still external. Psychological adulthood begins when you no longer need applause for restraint. If someone says not posting is insecurity, what evidence would you present? Privacy orientation, self-concept clarity, social comparison theory, and harder still, if someone argues your silence is avoidance, how would you show it isn't? Comment with a boundary, B wall, C still investigating. But don't just choose. Explain your reasoning using at least one concept we discussed. This isn't about social media. It's about who evaluates your life. The crowd.